Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third-party review. In today's video I'm taking a look at an early pre-production sample of X-Transbots MX-9 Aegis, otherwise known as Masterpiece Trailbreaker. Now Aegis is the shield of Zeus, so it's quite a fitting name for Trailbreaker in my opinion. Now, I've manhandled the MMC version, I've messed around with the Bad Cube version, and X-Transbots have actually delivered one of the best versions of the character in my opinion. Just having it in hand, bearing in mind this is a pre-production sample, so the tightness of the joints, the overall paint applications, blemishes, etc., they should all be ironed out in final production. As well as these windows being tinted blue, I believe, which would make it more in keeping with its G1 counterpart. But other than that, it's a big, huge lump of a figure. I mean, this guy weighs in at over 11 ounces. That's 331 grams, making him the heaviest Trailbreaker currently on the market. To look at and have in hand, if I was to pick this up, and if I didn't realise it was a Transformer, but looking on the underside here, you'd think it was kind of like a Corgi or a Matchbox toy. That's what I like. It's generally a good sign if you get a big, solid lump of a toy, and the transformation is well hidden inside its alt mode, disguising the fact that it's a robot. I believe it's cast in this black plastic. I don't think it's actually painted. I believe it's actually just been cast in both metal and black plastic. We do get these wing mirror sections here, or side view mirrors, and you can see his knees in the back of his van mode. We've got nice chromed out wheels here, although I do believe they're kind of painted up, very kind of reflective silver as opposed to actually chrome. And there we have the front grille with the turbo planted on there. It's a nice space there for Autobot logo to be placed. Now let's take a look at his accessories. The first accessories that are included is the picnic set. Now I don't have the Dr. Wu partners, otherwise known as Spike and Sparkplug, so I've got the Spike and Spike here. Got a log and a rock, and of course we've got the kettle teapot thing with the two cups. That's nice. That's a nice little accessory. To accompany the picnic scene, we can bring Trailbreaker in with his satellite radar dish, which just slides inside this tongue and groove section on the front of his cab. This is the next accessory. We actually get two of these. I've already fitted one to the hand. Basically, they are on a mushroom peg. You just slide them on and off. And I've already done one hand, so I have an additional hand here, which are the KFC X-Transbot articulated fingers, which are all different lengths and have 3 points of articulation per finger. We get two of these connectors, which enables us to connect this accessory here, and we can also attach the accessories that come with the likes of Ironhide. We get to this cone section for his shoulder mount, and we get a G1 style head, which again is just attached using a mushroom peg, and this one, due to the width of the head, does have compressing ears, much like we get with the Masterpiece Starscream figure. With regards to his scale in vehicle mode, I personally feel he fits in exceptionally well with the rest of his Autobot comrades. I mean, if you take Trailbreaker and Hoist, look, they're pretty much identical molds, but man, has X-Transbot done a number with these. These do look very different indeed. Now, nitpicks for the alt mode, there's some smearing on the windows there, and some of the plastic seems a little bit scuffed and cloudy, but like I've mentioned, this is a pre-production sample. there are things they're going to fine-tune. So he rolls. He doesn't roll amazingly, but I mean, all the wheels do roll individually, and nothing hits the ground there. I believe it's just my Cybertronian style surface which is causing the issue. Now, without further ado, he is of course a transformer, so let's get him transformed up. Now, the first port of action is to pop this back window up. Now, it is quite stiff. The joints may differ slightly with the final product. It does fit in there 1, 2, and 3 points. Just lift that section up. Again, with these side sections, just giving it a tug just by the back window. You can lift this section and this window. You can lift that up out of the way, and you want to just bring this up, fold these sections out on both sides, and then fold these window sections inwards. Come to the center section and just giving it a little tab. You can bend it just in the center, which untabs these sections here. Bring this section up, come to the back sections and split those legs. Lift this section here all the way down. Lift and unfold this section here. There is a slight clearance issue. That's my fault for not pulling it. The plastic is pretty strong. The idea is to just kind of lift this section up and rotate it up and over. There is a lot of play in this section, so just be mindful. Of course, like I said, this is a test shot, so that's something that could possibly change. Now that we've undone this back section, we can then extend the leg outwards, pull this section here so we can lift up the double hinge, and then work the hinge upwards and outwards like so. The wheels are tabbed in. Applying pressure on the outside, we can pop that wheel in. This section here is on a double hinge. You want to collapse the double hinge so that it's sitting inside this wheel section. Turn the wheel section over and then fold this section down inside the leg, and then we want to fold this lip over like so, and then just close that off like this on the back of the leg. And you want to just come down and rotate this section outwards. That now allows us to get access to the toe, which you can just poke through on the underside and then just bring this section down. Now, you will notice that my foot is somewhat loose. I've transformed this about 15 or 16 times since I've had it. There is a small screw just on the inside of here, which I can tighten, which tightens the foot right up. Again, this is something they need to work on for the final product. Put down the panel covering his bum, lift this backpack section back, and you want to just disengage the arm section on both sides, and then come down to the underside, and you want to lift this section up and lift this section up like so. Untab the wheels from either side of these arms, and then just giving the arms a pull, you're going to be able to lift those up. They're tabbed in to the underside of the bonnet here. Bring the arm out and round to the side along with these weapon sections. Collapse the wheels inwards, bring this chest down, and this bumper section here is going to slot and tab in to the underside like so, pushing in and securing. If you look to the underside here, you can see the head. You want to just grab the head, and we're going to bring it up and through the backpack section. That is fantastic clearance. And then rotate it around to reveal a very awesome Trailbreaker head sculpt. Bring these shoulder weapon sections up. Come around to this backpack section. You need to tab it back together like it was in vehicle mode, only we have these sections here hanging down. You're going to collapse this back panel here, bring the backpack forward. There are tabs, circular tabs on the back of these, and they tab into that grey circular hole. You just need to line those up and tab in to that grey section, securing the underarm sections into place, and then we can just push the bottom of the backpack into the waist like we did with the front. Now come around to these shoulders. You want to flip the wing mirrors up and out of the way, bring these sections forward, bring them out to the side, and then pull this section down, pull and extend the arm section. We can then get under the hands and bring those out to the front. You can then get this section at the side here, bring that up and over. We can then just give the arm a little rotate, and again with the hands. Now the hands are actually my biggest gripe on this. I actually think they're a little bit too small for the size of the figure. It's the standard X-Transbot hands, but I just think they look a little bit too small for a guy with such bulk. And this time we can bring this section upwards, and it's going to fold together, forming the weapon, which I think is brilliant. Absolutely love that. And then just fold this section over and rotate it around, and just make sure that's fully extended. And here we have him fully transformed up into his robot mode. And even at a test shot level, this guy is outstandingly good. Absolutely love him. As I mentioned during the transformation, it's a really good Trailbreaker head sculpt. It literally hit the nail on the head. Done a very nice job there. The option is there to hide away the weapons on the shoulders. If you don't like them, they can just hide inside the backpack. Just don't fold them up when you're doing the transformation process. And like I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of the hands. I think they're a little bit too small. You can see what I mean about the plastic. You can tell it's not a final finished piece. We do get some like kind of clouding fingerprints or something on there, and the glass is a bit dirty. I mean, I'm not the first person to have this test shot in hand, and I won't be the last. So I think, considering it's done really well, we do have some paint skipping on those knee sections. There is die cast in here as well. They are actually die cast, I believe, and there's some in the feet as well. Hence this guy's sheer heft. Accessory wise, we can have the wave section attach on there like so. That just literally slides in over that. I love these kind of visual effects. The other weapons tab on pretty much like you would expect from any normal Masterpiece figure. With this guy, we'll just split this section up, and we just want to flip the arm up and over, and we now get this whole section here. We can then bring in the pre-installed weapon. I've installed it on the silver pad already, and we can just slide that into the hole, and there we have it. Just sits on there really nicely indeed. Now we do have this hole in the back here, and of course we can actually bring in Ironhide's jetpack, and we can just tab that in. That's brilliant, isn't it? And it's a very, very good color match as well. You know, it's a very close kind of silver that they've used for the weapons and the jetpacks, so it does really look the part. Looks incredible. Let's see if we can just bring in the cannon as well. Look, we can have that. That can go in up and over as well. There we go. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Now, for those of you that want to get a more G1 tie look, come to the back of the head and just applying pressure on the base of the neck, wriggle the head forwards, which in turn just slides it off that mushroom peg, and do it vice versa, sliding it on like so. Unfortunately, I can't have anything coming in the center here. To make it more toy accurate, you'd have a second one of these, and we would slide this section across to the center here. But unfortunately, I can't do that. But for now, there we go. That is the toy accurate head. Taking a look at the articulation, the head is on a dual swivel. We can rotate it left and right, and up and down on the neck joint, and also up and down on an individual joint there. There is no pivot to the head though, so we can't get any quizzical poses. We've got this strange kind of joint going on in the chest here. It's made of a very strange plastic, but it does allow us to bring the shoulders up and down. We can kind of have them sunken down like so, which is what we get when we do the hoist transformation, but for now we can bring that up and down. It is a very strange joint, like I've mentioned though. We get a friction joint moving the arms around. I would like a ratchet joint in there. We get a bend at the elbow. Again, I would have liked a double joints, and we do get a rotation on the bicep. We get a nice twist at the waist. We get no real ab crunch though. We do get front flaps, and we can lift up his back flap like so, which allows us to bring the legs forwards and backwards and out to the side, all again on friction joints. I thought we could have got ratchets inside there. We get a ratchet on the upper knee like so, and a friction joint just below the knee. There is a swivel in the thigh, and coming down to the feet, which I have now tightened, we get left and right pivot, and we get forwards and backwards on the toe. So I mean, actually for a big guy, he's actually a pretty well balanced figure. And just give you all an idea of his scale, here he is alongside some of his fellow Autobots, both official and third party. He looks the part, he really does. I think he looks very good alongside the likes of Optimus Prime and Ironhide. And I still stand by my decision that this is the best version of Trailbreaker currently on the market. It holds together very well, even considering it's a pre-production sample. The look and feel is very good. The transformation isn't scary. I know some of the X-Transbot transformations are a little bit hair-raising. This one is pretty straightforward, and it's nice. It's an enjoyable transformation. I didn't like the bit where we folded those sections out on the knees, but that's maybe something I'm doing wrong. We don't get instructions with these, so I kind of winged it. But I think it works pretty well, and just look at him. That is a nigh-on perfect, animation-accurate version of Trailbreaker, and I believe it's actually one of the cheapest on the market as well. I hope this video has been useful. If it has, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, share, and of course subscribe. I will shortly be doing a hoist video where I'll do a full comparison and show the differences in the transformation to get him to look a little bit more hench and stouty in comparison to his slim, slender counterpart that is Trailbreaker. Until next time, from myself and Aegis, well, thanks for watching, goodbye.